To the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we have another amazing show for you today. Don't forget to go to YouTube and check us out live. You can see us at the Tasty Show 520. Also, listen on the radio if you're in your car or otherwise. Of course, here at our home at 10:30 a.m. The Voice. And we also have the Facebook page, of course, that's the Tucson Tasty Show, and so much more. So let's get into it. We have an amazing guest today, Cody Peck, guest co-host, should I say. And how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Wes?
I'm good. I'm trying to figure out just where I am today. It's been a long week. We're gearing up for the recording of the first TV show, and that's going to be at Mama Luisa's. And you can actually buy tickets. I don't know if you know this or not, but you can actually buy tickets on Eventbrite. If you go to the Facebook page, the Tucson Tasty Show, or Instagram, again the Tucson Tasty Show, or just search it on eventbrite.com, and that is the Tasty Show presents Mama Luisa's, and that's a week from Monday.
A week from Monday. What date's that?
That is April 29th. I'm trying to launch myself past everything. But it's going to be a fun day. We have a really special menu, and Michael Elefante is actually going to be in the studio next week to talk about the menu. Super excited about all the pairings and everything else we got going on.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah. So you're Cody Peck, the financial advisor, and along with the other sponsors is why we're here today. And thank you to all of our amazing sponsors: Kiki Rogers Country Financial Insurance Bureau, Premium Beef, Dirty Cactus Soap, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, over here in the corner, and Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, and Cirrus Visual. That's who has this big sign behind me. If you gotta go check it out. And of course, everybody that's listening, thank you. So we have Levity Wellness in the studio today with us.
Yes, I am Levity Wellness. No,
No.
this is Jason over
Jason.
here. This man, he's great, very talented. Kids. I haven't done a float.
One of the
yet.
owners, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Totally.
Co-owner.
Yes, sir.
And your other owner is?
My wife,
Of
Lindsay.
course. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Producer Tina is an amazing co-owner
We
for
make a
the
great
Tucson
team.
Tasty Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you got married, hopefully. But I actually spent a little time with her yesterday morning. Tina and I had the opportunity to go over and do a float, which I was very, hesitant on because I don't like enclosed spaces. But you know what? I survived the hour, and I'm actually doing amazing from it. So
Glad to hear.
thank you very much for sharing that with us, and we're very, very excited to have your support for the show as well.
Absolutely.
So what started, and we'll get into the food because you actually have a food background as well. So we're going to touch on that a little bit. But before we do that, what started Levity Wellness? I mean, uh, a float tank. There's a couple movies that come to mind every time I think about it, and I'm like, "No, I don't know if I want to," but no. It's very relaxing, and the blue light definitely gave it a surreal environment. Because I was in the open tank because
Yes, sir.
I don't like enclosed tanks. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so Levity, interesting story. I actually found floating in Portland. My wife and I go on anniversary trips every year as much as we can, and we chose Portland, Oregon for our first anniversary. On our last night, that because he did not like the sun? Pretty much. Okay. Yeah. So we, we disappeared up to Portland, checked out most of the city, vineyards, the coast, etc. Our last night there, I stumbled across the float shop. Shout out to them up in Portland. They're fantastic. And they're one of the original real commercial float shops. And they do a fantastic job. I stumbled in there late, took their last appointment, and jumped in the float tub and had just a fantastic experience using it just for relaxation. It was a really awesome tool. And funny enough, the owners there had some ties to Tucson. And said, hey, here's a couple home-based shops here in town, in Tucson, that you can go check out. And so we did. And within about 6 months of checking out a few of those, Levity opened. And the former owner that we purchased it from ran the business for the better part of 6 years by herself as a single
Oh,
proprietor.
right, right, right.
And I was a regular client for a number of years. And so when she was kind of burned out post COVID,
Do
we
you
took
mind
over.
sharing why, what spurred you into trying the floats?
The float in the first place, I've always just been, uh, I guess, pseudo adventurous. I To me, consciousness and how we relax and how we think and what the brain does, we don't really understand fully. And so to me, it's almost playful.
Mhm,
The
mhm,
first time I tried it, I came up in the spa industry. And so it was one of those that it was like, hey, this sounds cool and logical and there's science behind it. So what the heck? I'll give it a shot. And there wasn't really any necessarily fear there.
right. Well,
Yeah,
I've been in enclosed places too long.
absolutely.
They have
We
to
understand that.
tranquilize me to go into a MRI machine, and I'm not afraid to even say that. I mean, and it doesn't work usually. Usually everything kicks in after I'm done, even though I took it 2 hours prior, and they're like, "Well, try taking it a couple hours earlier." And I'm like, "No," and it's like literally I'm hyped through the entire thing, and then I get out and I crash for the rest of the
It's the
day.
adrenaline that
Yeah.
keeps you going, right?
But but you have 2 different styles of tanks. So
We do.
you do have the enclosed one, which you call
The Samadhi tank.
samadhi,
Mhm.
and then you have the open tank. And I think this is really good because it gives an opportunity for anybody that is in a stressful job like a chef to really try out though or try it out and just take a minute. And I was tired. I mean, I slept probably the best I have in a while. And I was telling you on the out or before the show that I have swelling in my legs and it's gone, which is really awesome. But Mr. Cody Peck over here really needs to go and try out the float tanks because I think he would unwind quite a bit.
Probably, probably.
They
Let's
designed it.
Leslie looked at me yesterday and was like,
Here's a
"Here's the
coupon.
coupon. Go tomorrow. Like you need it."
Yeah.
it
Um,
it takes that stress level that, I mean, a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we work hard.
Yes.
We're busy. We're
Mhm.
constantly, it's the emails, the this, the that, the kids, the life. And there's a lot of expectation on all of us as entrepreneurs, families, parents, sibling, whatever it is that you participate in your life, there's demand on you.
Right.
And at some point, where do you take that break that actually gives you a little bit of that breather?
so Jason, I can't swim. So how am I expected to float in this?
So there is 1,000 pounds of medical grade Epsom salt in 130 gallons of water in our larger tank.
Which equates to about a foot of water.
Correct.
So, and
If you drown, you're trying.
you have to flip over and hold your own head under. I don't recommend it
No. Mm-mm.
because the salt burns the eyes and the nose. But what I would say is that you have to force yourself down. You float regardless of what you want to do.
It's effortless.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you float with your arms above your head. And I tried everything, I above the head, and then down and then on my chest. And it was above the head was the most comfortable.
That's how.
But halfway through, I decided, I couldn't just sit still, so I actually stretched, and I was hoping to, while I'm stretching, like touch the bottom or something. No, I was literally like folded in half, and I'm sitting there floating, bobbing, just and without any problem. It was like laying in a bed
Mhm.
of water, but still, it was incredible.
It's such a surreal feeling because we are instinctually, when we hit water, you curl up
Right.
because you feel like you have to hold yourself up out of the water. 1,000% of therapy between getting past the pain meds and getting myself back into PT and then back into regular exercise and
Mhm.
normal life. So it became so much more than, oh, it'd be nice to go relax for a day and have a spa day. It's great.
And I think it's a fantastic tool for that. But it's become so much more than that in my experience in working.
So you do have a background in the kitchen, though, and
do.
that's one of the reasons that I'm excited that have you on as a full segment. What did you do? You grew up in the or you grew up essentially. I mean, your
Yeah.
first jobs were
In and around it. Yeah.
awesome.
So back in, it would have been the mid late 80s, my dad owned a famous Sam's off of Palo Verde and Irvington
Oh,
area.
there you go.
So I grew up in and around, kind of the fry kitchen, if you will, and just cooking in general, and a larger family, so larger meals, a lot of cooking. But then one of my first jobs was as a busboy at Miraval. And so I went from very casual environments to this very high-end Michelin star resort. That's where I cut my teeth.
There we go. Do you have any questions, Cody?
So, Jason, I got one question for you.
Shoot.
You told me before there was floating helped you with your back. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You want to dive into that a little bit real quick?
Sure.
We have 30 seconds to go.
So I sat out of bed in 2016 and broke the disc between C5 and C6 and had massive muscle loss from the left side of my neck down to the tips of my fingers. Ended up hooked on opioids. As soon as the wound healed, I was back into the float tank. I kicked the opioids, and I managed to get myself into PT from a tragic and traumatic neck injury within 4.5 months.
Wow.
It was a huge tool for me. So that's the elevator pitch.
That means it definitely could help me with my multiple personalities.
Yes, sure.
Awesome.
And on that, thank you, Cody. We'll be right back. I'm your host, Wesley Source, here on the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll be right back with Network Outdoors and Shane of Scented Leaf. And a special thank you to our sponsors, Kiki Rogers Country Financial Insurance, Farrell Premium Beef, Dirty Cactus Soap, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, and Cirrus Visual. I'm your host, and stay tasty, Tucson. Hello, this is Wesley Source with the Tucson Tasty Show. With every tasty bite from VEPremiumBeef.com, you get premium beef flavor. From the amazing ground beef to the melt-in-your-mouth ribeye steaks, every ounce is exceptionally aged for more than 21 days. Giving Vera Earl Premium Beef exceptional premium beef flavor. Order online at VEPremiumBeef.com. Again, that's VEPremiumBeef.com.
The one constant in life is change. Throughout our lives, we will go down roads that we never imagined, and we need to be prepared for whatever comes our way. Want to own your future? Contact Country Financial Representative Kiki Rogers. Kiki Rogers can help put a solid plan in place with insurance solutions to help make sure you're protected for what lies ahead. Get started today. Contact Kiki Rogers at 520-837-0194 for Country Financial.
This is Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. Everyone keeps asking me, what's a cannoli? So I brought Mafia Kitchen to explain.
Hi, I'm Andrea of Mafia Kitchen, and a tasty cannoli is a fried tube-shaped pastry filled with a sweet dessert ricotta cheese. Call us to get your very own at 520-261-2193.
Stay tasty, Tucson.
Now back to the Tucson Tasty Show with your host, Wesley Source, on 1030 The Voice.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my
Welcome back to the
tummy.
Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we're here in studio with an amazing lineup, and that is Cody Peck of Network Outdoors now, right? Or are you the financial advisor, Cody Peck?
Depends on the hour of the day, I would say.
Fair enough. Well, let's talk about the financial advisor really quick. Tell us a little bit about what you can help people with, if you can.
In reality, I can't help most people, no. And on that end, what I do is I come in and I help coach people to get them from where they are to where they want to be. I would say on that end, it's more of a active financial planning process, and that's where a lot of people are coming in, and we're not just giving them a piece of paper. I'm helping them on a monthly basis get to where they need to be in the first year.
Okay.
A lot of people come back and say, man, I feel excited. I feel less stressful now that I know I have someone I can lean on to help us get to where we want to be. And majority of my book of business is business owners.
Awesome.
So
You help Tucson's businesses with their personal finances.
the personal and some on the business side.
Awesome. So, yeah, Well, if we need to reach out and get a hold of you because we got to be able to get a hold of you. How do we do that?
Well, you can reach me at Cody Peck at financialguide.com, or you can call me at 520-262-9968. There's another phone number actually attached to that, but
Can
I
you say
have
that a little slower? It's 9968.
9968.
So
Yep.
that's 520 or
262 9968. Yep.
And it's Cody Peck, the financial advisor.
Yes.
Okay. Outstanding. Thank you. And we still have Levity Wellness Center in the back corner here. Jason, thank you so much for hanging out. And we brought in a special guest here, Shane of The Scented Leaf.
That's right.
And you just opened up a new your newest addition to the Scented Leaf brand over on Tanque Verde. I actually love that location. I'm over there a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate
recently. And it's over across from Trailless Town and golf and stuff. And you walk in, and the environment is just really amazing. It's a really cool setup, and it's a blend of your other two stores, which is really awesome. But I'll let you talk or tell your story. So, Scented Leaf, what is Scented Leaf?
So we are a tea company. We like to think of ourselves as a community center. We want people to feel welcomed and have a feel almost like it's like a home for them. So in a sense, a second home for them so that they can hang out, meet up with friends, get some work done, do kind of, what they need for the day and get hydrated, get some caffeine if they want that, or no caffeine with just some herbal teas to help out with that. So at the end of the night, they can calm themselves down. So we try to take care of people, and we try to think of ourselves as more of like a drink house since we offer teas and coffees. We mix and match, do all sorts of stuff. And then we now have beer and wine at the new location. So trying to create a community drink house, if you will.
That's what you've done. I mean,
Thank you.
It's always full in there, or every time I've been there. And have I taken you over there yet, Cody?
No, you haven't. You have not taken me there, but
okay,
I do notice the days you go there because you smell better.
Fair enough. All right. Thanks, man.
It's all that good tea.
You're right. Have you been over to the Scented Leaf?
I have not yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. I've got two
There
new
you go.
customers
New
for
customers
you.
coming in. Love it.
And it's very addicting. And I found out that, so I always switch to the Moroccan peppermint because it's just good. And I was like, and I'm not drinking a ton more caffeine. Well, I found out that there's caffeine in it. And I'm like, well, that's why I haven't slept in 72 hours.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, we have an option for you besides that one. There is a peppermint that has rooibos that has no caffeine. So
we discovered that yesterday.
Let's switch you to that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are so helpful at the counter. And if you don't know what you want, not only do they walk you through what you guys have, I mean, you have the menu right there and everything, but they're so nice. How did you, so Scented Leaf is kind of a unique concept. I mean, you've got essentially bar tabs that you have tea coming out of.
Right.
They're all in kegs and everything else, but how did you get started with something like that? I mean, who comes up with the idea, hey, instead of beer, let's serve tea to the world?
Right.
I think he grew up in a dry county. That's why.
He grew up in Tucson, Cody. He's a Tucson original.
Well, it is dry out here.
Oh,
It's a different type of dry.
Definitely dry. And that actually it really helps us out. Honestly, the tea thing came about. So, where did it start? I mean, it's a really random, crazy story about how the whole company got started. But in a nutshell, we start off as a perfume and cologne company. So I know that sounds strange, but I graduated from University of Arizona back in 2004. Got into, never wanted to work for like a corporation. It just was never part of my thought process. I said, okay, what we're going to do. So I was like, well, let's get into whatever is happening right now. So real estate was happening, but all my friends were realtors. All my brother was a loan officer. And I said, hey, where can I get in? And they're like, oh, we need an insurance person. So I said, I really do not like insurance. It's not my thing. But they were going to give me some kind of guaranteed business. And I said, okay, let's give it a try. Even though I'm not a big fan of insurance, let's do it. So I did that, did it for a year, realized it was not my thing. Definitely need to be in front of people on a different level.
Right.
That went into, hey, I really should try to get into maybe something that is a little more what I'm accustomed to. So I went into real estate. And I was like, all right, even though everyone's a realtor, I'll try it out. And I ended up getting into a good situation where I sold during the condo conversion phase of real estate, where everyone was switching apartments into condos. And I got into a company that specialized in that. So that led me to do well and had some extra money. And I said, okay, well, I own property at this point. I started when I was 18. When I was a kid, I got bit by a dog when I was 10. And
Oh, wow.
that's what made me live in Tucson, because first kid I met in Tucson, first house I went to, literally first week of school, everything was just brand new. I wasn't supposed to stay here. I just wanted to stay because my dad needed a son here in town, because we were from Santa Fe. And went to this kid's house, walked in, they didn't let me in, but they didn't actually introduce me to their dog the right way. And they basically, I walked in, they said, hey, here's our dog. And the dog got spooked, jumped up, bit my face. All of a sudden I had
Oh my
emergency
gosh.
surgery, emergency plastic surgery. Everything came at me really fast. And I was like, I don't even want to live here. I just came here to say what's up to my dad. He wanted me to stay for a semester.
Oh, wow.
Now I got bit by a dog. Now my face is different. What is going on? So there was no doctors apparently that they told me in Santa Fe that could take care of me. So I ended up staying in Tucson for the surgeries. Also, I went back to school, got accustomed, ended up staying. So all this was kind of a process to lead me to kind of where I ended up, where I was now in a situation where I said, I got some money. I'm a Tucson guy. Let's get into a business, because I already had real estate and I didn't feel like it was going to last. So I got into a perfume business of a swap meet here in town, which is bizarre, but I'm not a swap meet guy, but I ended up being there for 5 years. And every weekend, crazy weather, crazy people, learned my ways around people and got to really get good with my customer service. And then that led to another location on University Boulevard right there on Euclid.
Right.
And then that was a perfume store. Didn't work out as I thought with sales. We had, I think we did 12,000 for the first year, which is nothing in business. And I was just sinking at this point because the path was changing on me. And then we said, hey, let's get into something different. I wasn't sure what that was. I went to a trip to Spain with my then girlfriend, now wife. We decided to go a long time ago. During the months leading to that trip, we had a lot of heartaches with money and business and the economy. And all of a sudden, we got to a point where we were pretty much dead broke, but we had this trip already lined up. Week before we're going to go, a few days before we're going to go, my wife sits me outside and says, hey, I got some crazy news to tell you. She started crying. I was worried she was going to tell me something about maybe she was sick, or a family member was sick, or someone passed away. And she's like, I'm so sorry, but I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh my goodness, happy as can be, but at the same time, like, I'm broke right now. How am I going to pull this off? My fortune from real estate went away from my business endeavors. And all of a sudden I was like, whoa, what about Spain? And we thought about it, and we said, we already told ourselves we're going to go. Let's just do it. We have no money, but we set this path. Let's do it. We go to Spain. We didn't, she was sick the whole time, throwing up, all that morning sickness stuff.
Yeah.
We found a little spot in the middle of Granada when we were walking with all the tourists. I had a gut check. I went down a street that I wasn't supposed to go down. It just felt like my stomach was pulling me towards this area. And luckily, it took me right to a spot where I saw a little tiny shop that had knickknacks and coffees, but it had crates of herbs and teas up in the front of it. And it was a wall that led to a cathedral. And this space itself was like 10 by 10, tiny little space.
Right.
And I look at it, didn't know what it was. I was looking at tea and herbs. The guy says, you don't know what that is, owner? And I was like, I have no idea what I'm looking at. He was like, that's tea. That's loose leaf tea. That's what the whole world drinks, except you guys in the United States. You guys are into tea bags, and you guys Lipton and all that stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this is what it looks like. This is tea, and this is what they do. This is incredible. And my mind just switched. The light bulb went off, and I said, we're going to start selling tea. Came back, sold tea in my perfume store, 10 feet wide. My store was 10 feet wide by 30 feet. It was like a corridor. It used to be a lobby for a hotel.
Right.
And boom, we started selling tea, and that led to the growth. And then the perfume went away. We moved to another location down on University Park. That led to how we're going to compete with the guys that are around me. Starbucks is around me making espresso drinks fast.
Right.
All the coffee shops are making fast drinks. And I said, man, I really need to come up with something faster. And that's when I had a old refrigerator that had taps on him that I just ended up using it.
Perfect. So when we get back, we're going to talk more about that.
Okay.
And then we're going to also talk about some of the teas that you do have. But I'm Wesley Source, your host for the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll be right back. Special thank you to our sponsors, Kiki Rogers Country Financial Insurance, Viral Premium Beef, Dirty Cactus Soap, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, and Cirrus Visual. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and stay tasty, Tucson.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute,
Buy now, pay later plans have become very popular, but use them wisely.
Sometimes these programs incentivize people to overspend.
Senior industry analyst Ted Rossman at Bankrate.com says
Actually talk a little bit to everybody that's out in the YouTube and Facebook world, because we're live right now. So
Great.
No, it's a great story, and I love it, and you tell it so well. That's why we have you in.
Yeah,
that,
appreciate it.
and it flew by like that, right? We didn't even get to ask any questions. I mean,
yeah, it goes. And I've said the story so many times, and it's one of those things where it's like rewind and play. And I almost say it the same, but it's a little bit different every time. So I almost like doze off and just say, the story, because I've told it so many times. But it's great. It's what made us. The story is what I've been able to really live off of.
Oh, okay. He's talking to somebody else. Good.
It's one of those, you retell the story in so many different flavors depending on the audience and the purpose.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's what made the company happen. So I appreciate the.
Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you. Yeah, no, it's been kind of a crazy week.
I'm Jay. Nice to meet you.
He's the owner of Scented Leaf.
Jason.
Oh, thank you.
He's obsessed with loose leaf tea.
Awesome.
And he had a flower teapot for one Christmas.
The tea, you got to go to get some tea from Scented Leaf. It's delicious. There's one downtown, there's one in the university, and there's one new one on Tinker Verde over by Calvinstown.
Where it's like across from Old Main.
We're on University Boulevard. That's our main location.
Right there. Okay.
Yeah. Right at the end.
Because he's going to go to school there next year, but we can usually go downtown.
Okay. That's a small one. That's a little one.
Awesome. So we have 90 seconds. Yep, 90 seconds. I think yours will be on here during this break as well.
I gotta ask. That's really random. Pieces of bread.
Yeah.
Is that snack?
It is.
Okay.
It's a surprise. Do you like hot stuff?
I mean, who doesn't? We got Mike's Honey Layer over there.
Yeah, they're trying to get us to be sponsors, I think, or they want to be sponsors. I think they keep sending us stuff. So let's try it on air and see if maybe we can do something with your tea.
Hey, I mean, that's not a bad idea, honestly. It's not a bad idea at all.
Not yet.
I'd be open to that idea.
Yep. I like it.
Actually, I learned the difference in tea from the tea bag to the good stuff at Mirrorball as a kid, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's
not here. It's not grandma's tea anymore.
These are some good headphones. Yeah. There you go. Those are like falling apart on you.
What have we got?
Can you hear it?
Conveniently located near the influenzation therapy, massage, therapy.
Am I supposed to be looking at this?
And mention this ad for a special rate on your first float or sauna session. Say goodbye to stress and hello to serenity at Levity Wellness Center today. Call 520-339-6674 and schedule now.
Now back to the Tucson Tasty Show with your host, Wesley Source, on 1030 The Voice.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my
Welcome
tummy.
back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we're here with Shane of Scented Leaf. It's a new trend in Tucson that's taking Tucson by storm, and it's tea instead of coffee, which is awesome. But coffee is delicious as well.
Yeah, I love coffee.
And you were nice enough to come in and chat with us. Thank you. But you do have coffee on tap as well.
I do.
So we still have Cody Peck of Network Outdoors, or are you the financial advisor now?
No, I think I went to Network Outdoors. I got my shirt.
Fair enough. And Jason over in the corner with Levity Wellness Center. Thank you very much for hanging out today.
Thanks for having me.
And we have a little twist on the Tasty Bites. And Tasty Bites is one of my favorite segments. It's usually the chefs bring in a bite for us to eat. But I've got something for you to try today.
Okay.
And my friends over at Mike's Hot Honey actually have sent us quite a few samples, and I was drinking your tea, and you have varying levels of tea or sweetness. So when you walk up, it's not like Starbucks where they go, You order the drink and they put whatever they want into it. I
Right.
mean, it's like 20 pumps of liquid sugar and then a little bit of
Yeah.
coffee. No, you can have light or sweet, medium sweet, or high sweet, right?
Or nothing.
Or nothing.
Yeah.
And they ask you that on every time you get a cup filled
right.
up.
So if I put honey in there, what would that be considered?
We can still choose that level. I mean, we keep giving more honey, it's going to move up a sweeter level, you know? So
Okay.
typically, you know, 1 teaspoon is a low sweet, and then medium sweet would be 2, and high sweet would be 3.
Okay.
Fair enough. Have you ever had Mike's Hot Honey before?
I feel like I have.
Well, let's get a piece
Yeah.
of bread here.
I love honey.
And let's get some of this try.
I don't think I've had that one though. I'm excited.
This one's a really good one. This one's a infused. It's just the Mike's Hot Honey infused with chili, and then we've got the extra hot. And they actually have chips now. We can't get them in Tucson yet, but I'm super. Or they gave us some of those at the Bar and Restaurant Expo, and they're addicting. Like it was the perfect balance of hot and sweet, sweet and hot. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, go ahead and give that a shot. And we're just using white bread because I really want the flavor of the honey to come through, but also the flavor of the chili. Because one of the things that, and most of my friends know I love spicy stuff, but
hey, don't forget we got to get Jason in on this.
I'm good, actually. Spicy and I don't get along, so
Okay.
I will participate with my.
You certain?
Tell us about the bread.
I'll give you a flavor profile on the bread. It's nicely toasted.
Yes. Yeah,
Good job there.
Good.
I had an expert toaster take care of that for us. That would be producer Tina. Thank you, producer Tina.
Good crunch.
So
I'm feeling that heat.
that one's pretty good, and I'm pretty sure I know what the chili is that they use in there, but they don't really disclose it. This one I know, and you can taste
Do I
it
be careful? Do I
immediately.
need to be careful with this one?
You don't need a lot. It's got
Is that
some
too
good
much?
flavor. That's actually pretty great.
Okay.
And if you want to show that to the camera really quick, and yeah, like I said, this is Mike's Hot Honey, extra hot,
I'll send it over to you.
and we're gonna send the bread over to Cody. And you could try the lighter one. It's actually not that spicy. It
It's
just has
not
a
even
little
so
bit
much
of,
about spice level. I got a funky little allergy with spice. I wish. I miss it.
I know you're saying no. She's too. Oh, I definitely feel that one.
Yeah, that one's a little bit hotter, but it's not overly. Like it's not like painful. You really get the flavor of the pepper that comes through, which is what I appreciate about Mike's Hot Honey. I've had a lot of different hot honeys. I have, I think, 40 bottles of hot sauce at home that we keep in the fridge, and it's everything from Pepper X all the way down to just some simple buffalo sauce. And I actually got the gift box from Hot Ones. So I was getting
That's
3 of
great.
them a
I
month,
heard about that.
and it was great until now. I have 40 hot sauces that I threaten people with when they come over to my house.
Yeah.
Now he does have a special prize if you can make it through the all 40.
Yes, I do.
That's
It's cushy toilet paper. Anyway,
or
so
hospital stay. Free hospital stay.
So what do you? So what I was thinking with the less spicy one was kind of like I like mint a lot, but I think that the mint with that it would give it almost a little bit of that menthol.
Yeah, soften it up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would try it honestly. If he is interested, I will definitely try it.
Awesome.
I like the lesser spicy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just in general, I'm the same way. It's like I love spice. I grew up in New Mexico, so everything was based on spice. They judged you based on how much spice you could take. So I grew up with green chili everywhere and red chili everywhere. So when it's too spicy, it just doesn't have a fun time. Not fun. But that I can consume that all the time. And that'll be good in tea, especially like a nice. We used to have a tea that was really popular. I had this. He was a man who. He was an airline pilot who got into his own thing after he retired. He says, "I just love tea and I love yerba mate and I love just making these concoctions." So he came up with this elixir. It's called yerba mate elixir. His name was Glenn, and he was a cool man, very cool. And he gave us this blend of yerba mate, and it had cayenne pepper, all sorts of things in there, and it was spicy. It was spicy, and people loved it. People like it, especially after maybe a night out drinking or things like that. When you're sick, maybe with the nose, people love it.
Well, the cool thing about capsaicin is it helps out on a lot of different levels. It'll actually help to clean off receptors in your brain if you're a drug addict or if you have, and they're playing with it. The guy that started Carolina Reapers, he developed the Carolina Reaper and then Pepper X, and he actually has a hotter one. And we're talking about 1 million Scoville, 3 million Scoville, and what you just had is probably 50 at the hottest 50,000 Scoville.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so very low heat. And I would say that that's probably a oh gosh, I had it and I forgot it. Anyways, it has a very habanero. There it is, habanero. But I don't. That's not confirmed. So don't take that to the cleaner. Or
Okay.
anything, but it has that or the capsaicin actually helps out with that. And then they're actually doing medical research to treat certain cancers.
Oh, wow.
Because they're finding that it'll attach to the cancer cells and allow your body to actually fight the cancer. So I mean, there's all kinds of applications with the capsaicin. And in fact, there's a company that has put it in a vape pen instead of tobacco to help stop smoking, and that one's
spicy air, basically.
pretty much. And you get
That's new.
and you get the buzz just like you're smoking a cigarette or something, which is nuts from what I understand.
It cause an issue there, I think, for some people.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Like I said.
Wow.
Well,
Here,
food
let's
chemistry is
inhale some
fun.
pepper spray.
But yeah, that's what it feels like.
So I think the peppermint would be really good, but I don't know that with the like the black currant tea would be really amazing too.
Tea is one of those things that's always surprised me how everything goes with it. People are always like, you can't put coffee and tea together and it works. You can't put herbal tea together with tea and then add different things like chocolate milk and dark chocolate almond milk, I should say. And it works. It's been amazing to see the blends that people come up with on their own when they come in and make these orders because we have the taps and people get to choose. So it's amazing. I'll definitely will try this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can. I think I can get that hooked up for you. In fact, you take that bottle, and I'll reach out to
There you go.
All right, to make sure that they get over to you.
Okay.
Now, Shane, so I dated a Persian lady for a little while.
Okay.
Their family made a type of tea that was kind of sweet with like a hint of cinnamon in it. Do you know what that would be?
Each culture has their thing, and I know cardamom is a thing that people would do. They'll just make cardamom tea, and they won't use black tea, green tea. They won't use anything. They'll just literally use cardamom. I had a friend from Afghanistan, and he made me a tea, and I was like, "This tastes different." He's like, "Oh, it's tea," and I was like, "I don't get it. It doesn't taste like tea to me." He's like, "Oh, let me show you." It was just cardamom, and that was what they would drink as tea. So I think tea is a loose term. People drink it in different forms.
You have a question?
Yes, sir. I want to know, how can we support you as Levity Wellness and being part of this community? I mean, obviously, a lot of our crowds kind of overlap in what we do, and then obviously what you offer to the community. So, we'd love to know what can we do to help support you in any upcoming projects or events.
Well, I kind of came into this podcast not knowing too much about the other companies, and I would love to know in a nutshell what it is that you, in a sense, would kind of connect the dots with the tea.
Sure. So we're a local wellness center here. We're right there near the U of A. And we offer flotation therapy, which
That's what I was thinking when you the name. I was like, okay, I bet that's what this is.
Very much focused on relaxation and calm.
Okay.
And so very much fits in with what we're offering. And so, I think that's something I'd love to have a conversation.
I think
with
that
you
sounds
about
great.
having kind of some of your offerings at our shop.
I would like that. I mean, anything with wellness is what we're all about. We've been wanting to go down the path of being more of a health style place for people to find their solution. And, it could be mental, it could be physical. We're trying to find places. And then even for my staff, I'm trying to find things that will give them. And we used to always kind of give them, hey, here's a meal because you did a good job today. And then we started realizing that, that was kind of not going too far. They're like, okay, thanks for that slice of pizza. Thanks for this sandwich. And then we started doing yoga. I go, hey, go get a yoga. Then we started doing massage passes and things like that. And those things, finding out what makes the employee tick. And I think something like that, which is anything helping out with stress, anything helping out with wellness is something that we are down with. So I would love to. Yeah.
Heck yeah. No,
Yeah.
we're happy to. And we are all things local. We love local, a native as well, born and raised here. So no, we're excited to. We have a
Okay.
little space. Our spa is small, but we do offer hot tea on request once they finish
Oh,
an
there you go.
appointment. So
Perfect.
I think, you know,
There we
I
go.
want
might
to
need to
try it.
have a
I've been wanting to
conversation.
try that for a long time. I've
Heck
been
yeah.
With
I
a
have-
little hot honey.
oh, little
There you
hot
go.
honey.
Well, you know, what was it? The peppermint tea with the hot honey.
There you go. Yeah, I need to go to your place. I've been wanting to experience that for a long time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
sounds
I actually
great.
have a coupon for you after we get done.
Oh, great.
Don't let me forget to give it to you.
Actually, I would love to give you a bunch for your staff.
Oh, there
Yeah.
we go. Ooh.
So
They
I
would
have
be
some here on
ecstatic.
hand. I have some information about what we do, what it does for you, and some coupons for your staff. We'd love to have them in.
Okay, we'll bring him in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So with the tea, what is the biggest seller? And you know what? Before we answer that, I think we need to go on a break so that we have the appropriate amount of time. So I'm Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. Hold that thought, and we'll have an answer for that when we come back. Thank you to our amazing sponsors: Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Vera Earl Premium Beef, Dirty Cactus Soap, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, and Sirius Visual. I'm Wesley Source. Stay tasty, Tucson. Hello, this is Wesley Source with the Tucson Tasty Show. With every tasty bite from VEPremiumBeef.com, you get premium beef flavor. From the amazing ground beef to the melt in your mouth ribeye steaks, every ounce is exceptionally aged for more than 21 days, giving Vera Earl Premium Beef exceptional premium beef flavor. Order online at VEPremiumBeef.com. Again, that's VEPremiumBeef.com.
The one constant in life is change. Throughout our lives, we will go down roads that we never imagined, and we need to be prepared for whatever comes our way. Want to own your future? Contact Country Financial Representative Kiki Rogers. Kiki Rogers can help put a solid plan in place with insurance solutions to help make sure you're protected for what lies ahead. Get started today. Contact Kiki Rogers at 520-837-0194 for Country Financial.
This is Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. Everyone keeps asking me, what's a cannoli? So I brought Mafia Kitchen to explain.
Hi, I'm Andrea of Mafia Kitchen, and a tasty cannoli is a fried tube-shaped pastry filled with a sweet dessert ricotta cheese. Call us to get your very own at 520-261-2193.
Stay tasty, Tucson.
Now back to the Tucson Tasty Show with your host, Wesley Source, on 1030 The Voice.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. I got
This
love in my
is the Tucson Tasty Show, and I'm your host, Wesley Source. And I have some amazing guests here in studio with us today. And we have Jason of Levity Wellness Center. Thank you very much for being here and providing us with the amazing floats yesterday.
Yes, sir.
And I can't wait to come and try out maybe the sauna and then schedule a massage. And I'll probably do the massage while Tina's getting her hair cut, which is right next door as well.
That's perfect, right?
It's just the synergy there, right? And Cody Peck of Network Outdoors. He's also our amazing financial advisor, not only my personal financial advisor, but professional as well. And everything financial goes through him. And then we have Shane of Scented Leaf, the newest and upcoming drink spot to go and hang out and do homework. I meet clients over at your place all the time because it's a nice environment, a nice neutral environment. The music's just right, so you can have a conversation without the people in the front of the place listening to the conversation, which is great. And the cool TVs on the walls with all the landscapes and the beaches and forests and everything out there. It's just so cool.
Cool. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So we started to ask you what your best seller was before the break. So what is your best seller with all? I mean, how many teas do you have?
So we have an online side of things that will have their total amount. So that'll be probably in the 70s. But in each location, they have a specific tea selection based on the area that we think we should be pushing. So the
Right.
new tankery location is a little bit different than university. And in terms of most of them in the tea houses, around 48 offerings inside the
Yeah.
cafe. So because we can't do 70, it's just too many.
Right.
But most popular and biggest seller. So we get that question a lot when customers come in. They want, hey, what's most popular? And really, the bottom line is we can kind of say into different categories because we have teas on tap. We're always mixing and matching. People gravitate usually towards fruity. So fruity options. We also offer, hey, would you like fruity, minty, earthy, or spicy, right? So that gives us the ability to kind of narrow in what it is they're into, because not everyone wants fruity.
Right.
So breaking it into fruity, our fruit bomb was one of our oldest drinks. It's going to be a combination of different fruit teas on tap that we've had forever with yerba mate, with fresh squeezed lemon, and your level of sweetener. So that one, for a lemon person and someone who wants something really refreshing, that one is fantastic. Our fruit gushers are really popular as well. Those can be more of a lemonade style. I would say that's probably in the top 3 as well for people. They mix and match. They choose a tea. It has hibiscus as the base. We top it off with strawberry lemonade. That one's good.
Yes,
that one's good.
I think I think that's one of the ones I tried actually. And I typically don't like hibiscus, but yeah, that's the word. The hot honey is still kind of rolling around.
Yeah,
in
I
my
feel
mouth.
mine too.
I'm
not.
So I'm trying to find my words.
I'm not envious.
All right. Well,
All right.
You take over the show for
That's
the
it, right?
Jason. You're it.
I'm the
No.
DD from here on out.
This is the Jason Levity Wellness
That's it,
Show.
right? Well, mindful hour.
So I got a question for you two.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Here we go. You ready?
do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Heavy stuff.
I got an elk hunt about 2 weeks in August. About 15 guys will be up there, and we'll have to traverse, upwards to 5 to 6,000 elevation in a day. How can I use your guys' services to make sure that when I get back, I don't feel like I just beat the hell out of my body?
I mean, I definitely have
Before or
a
after?
great solution for you on my part. We've been working towards, so during COVID, we had to come up with something that basically was going to keep us in business. People were not able to come in and get that fruit bomb or that gusher, all those different drinks that we make on a regular basis. So what we did is I had an idea before COVID that I was just kind of procrastinating on, and then COVID made it come to the surface. And it was basically combining those teas that we have on tap, putting them, reverse engineering them, putting them in the loose leaf form into a cold brew style pack that allows you to make tea anywhere. And it already has some sugar. It already has some whatever fruit powders we're trying to mimic. And then you would literally throw it in a pitcher of water, a canister,
So
and then you'd have tea. Boom. And caffeine and all the amino acids and all the polyphenols that loose leaf tea gives you, you would have all that on a road trip. So we've been wanting to get this in the camping environment because we did it. We went camping and every morning we had fresh tea. It was like a game changer.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. I actually like that a lot, especially for out in the wilderness, hunting like that, or just being out in the wilderness at all, and having that to be able to process it. That's what we have. That's what we have at home that we've been making. That's right. You gave us two.
Oh, that's
the
right.
soft
You
opening.
got that cold brew pack.
It is good. I thought that Morgan was mixing in. Morgan's my oldest daughter. I thought she was mixing in sweetener and everything else, and I was like,
No.
she's doing pretty good. But no, it's just
12 grams of sugar per serving versus 50.
Awesome.
And she does it sun tea style. So she
There you
literally
go.
puts it in a pitcher and covers it with the tin foil or whatever, and then puts it out in the sun because it's been warm enough to make sun tea. So, and sun tea apparently is a Tucson thing. I don't know.
Very much so.
It's a very southern
Grew up
thing.
with it.
Yeah, it's southern.
Overall.
I did that.
Fair enough.
In Santa Fe.
Go
My
talk
mom
to
did that.
Kayla. She'll be like, I'll make you some sun tea.
Oh yeah, but that's like 2 gallons of sweetener, 1 gallon of tea, and yeah.
I mean, you could throw it in the refrigerator too.
Yeah.
Just boom, have it done.
Wow. So you can make it. You can make it now, right? Well,
Yeah. Any way you like. You can hot steep it. You can throw in hot water and make it in 3 minutes.
Well, we're gonna have to try that.
I'll give you some.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then I know what you're gonna say because after we get back, you go and you decompress in the sauna for an hour, and then you go do a float for an hour, and then you get a massage for an hour, and the trifecta will literally be like 9 hours of sleep.
You're pretty close. That's like an in-park triple.
Wow.
There we go. Wow.
You're pretty close. So it is an incredible recovery tool, but it's also an incredible recovery tool in the process of training. So I
Mhm.
used it. I hiked the Grand Canyon from Rim to Phantom Ranch and back out. And I
Goodness.
went from not being in shape to using Tumamoc Hill and running laps of it,
Oh
beating
wow.
myself
Wow.
up. But I found I wasn't recovering. And it's like, okay, I can do the hike now, but I'm hurting. And so I started using the float tanks along with the training so that I could train more often and not be in pain. So leading up to your trip, yeah, add it as part of your practice recovery. I got to get right again. I'm walking 12 miles today. I'm walking 18 today, whatever the case is, as part of that recovery process. Massage and sauna, obviously, I mean, those are well-known avenues.
Mhm.
Right.
Float being a little different. And at the same time, once you come back, the back's compressed. You've been carrying a backpack. You've been wearing shoes for 3 days straight, like all the fun things of a long hunt, right? And being able to just relax and be completely weightless for 60, 90 minutes, it's enough to stretch the back out, get you back to normal, and home to a good night's
Love
sleep.
it. And then
Wow, I probably should incorporate this in my daily week, considering I work like 80 hours a week.
probably.
Hey,
And
we take
the,
HSA, so that's one of those as a financial guy. It's
Mhm.
pre-tax dollars, right?
I had no idea, dude. You literally just made my day.
So, and you have sport massages as well available.
We do. We offer a number of different modalities, from hot and cold stone to sports medicine type massage, Swedish, more therapeutic, cupping. So we've
Love cupping.
got a good run.
Yeah.
And
helps.
to round it all off, just in case you get a little dehydrated because you didn't bring enough tea with you, they also offer IV
We
therapy.
do, through Valley IV, a close friend of ours that runs a local
Yeah.
mobile IV shop. And so as
Or maybe get
as
the tea through the IV.
There you go.
right.
There we
So
checked it.
Wes mentioned it as kind of the trifecta. I like to refer to it as the quad. So you have
Mhm.
the sauna, the float, the massage, and IV. And then, you know, if you manage to get through that, I'll call you an Uber myself and send you home.
Wow, that sounds amazing. That sounds really good.
Actually, it does.
I'm a massage person. I try to get massages like every 2 weeks. I believe in all the stuff that you're doing. It just makes a difference.
Yeah, I get massage therapy through our VA, luckily, and it definitely has changed the way that I work on my injuries, and I actually don't take any pain medicine at all.
Congratulations.
And very rarely do I use one of the prescribed medicines to help me out. Very, very, very rarely.
That's a big step.
So it's massage therapy is 100%, amazing, and you bring the tea into it, and it's you get all those amazing things, flush all the stuff out of your body after you
Yeah.
get done with the massage, and it's amazing.
There's a
So-
litany of benefits, but some of the best ideas
Thank
are
you
formed
so-
over time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll see you next Saturday from 3 to 4. We have Mike Elefante of Mama Luisa's and Guido Q. Thank you to our special guest sponsors, Cody Peck, financial advisor guy, Shane of Scented Leaf, Jason of Levity Wellness Center, Kiki Rogers, Country Financial Service, Bureau Premium Beef, Dirty Cactus Soap, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, financial advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness, Cirrus Visual. I'm your host, Wesley Source. Stay tasty, Tucson.
We were singing bye.
Dirty Cactus Soap and Gifts is an artisan soap company that uses fresh local aloe to make beautiful soap and unique gifts like freshies, candles, wax melts, and bath bombs. We feature culturally inspired scents like pineapple cilantro and chipotle pear, and celebrate the desert we live in with sunset soaps, cacti, and scents like desert blooms and cactus flower. Perfect for when you have friends or family visiting, want to impress clients and customers, or thank your employees and team members for their contribution.
See you next week, and don't forget to check out the Coffee with the Tucson Tasty Show. Check out the Facebook page and Instagram for where we will be.